Hey, this is Rhonda A. White, your life and business optimizer. And I want to thank you for joining us for today's session of I Am Patent. I Am Patent is a movement that was made just for you, just so you can understand that you have the exclusive right to be you. You have the exclusive right to be in control of you. You have the exclusive right to patent you. I Am Patent is all about you being your authentic self, you being tenacious, electrifying, necessary, and a trendsetter. Because I tell myself all the time, I am powerful. I am authentic. I am tenacious. I'm electrifying. I am so necessary, and I am the trendsetter. And so today, in this segment, we are going to be talking about what it means to say, I am necessary, because you are. You're necessary for me, and I am necessary for you. So I want to bring on to you a personal friend of mine, also my business partner, Miss Glenise Harris Wilson. But before I bring her on, I just want to encourage you to grab paper, grab pencil, get ready for some golden nuggets, and let me introduce you to Miss Glenise. Glenise is filled with tenacity and superb determination as the CEO and founder of Brighter Promises Life and Transformational Coach, and the co-founder of D&G Power Coaches, and the creator and founder of Midlife Matters. Having excelled in the coaching industry as a certified life coach and a life coach trainer, Glenise's wisdom from her own experience as a baby boomer and her knowledge achieved through the higher learning of academic institutions give her clients life-lasting results where they learn to live and love their life from trials to triumphant living. Having successfully reinvented her life personally while navigating through her journey as a baby boomer, as a midlifer, challenges were cultivated by going through a divorce, being a single parent, being spiritually unmotivated, becoming a caretaker for her ill and aging parents, death of her parents. She became ill herself, an empty nester, career change, educational pursuit, remarriage, a blended family, and then retirement after 29 plus years from a Fortune 500 company. All I can say is that makes me tired, and I'm already tired. But midlife matters. I love Glenise. I love the fact that she understood that she was so necessary, because a lot of times, and the just said that went on in her journey, we get lost and think that we don't matter, but we do matter. But after coming to the crossroads of dying to an overwhelming lifestyle, or learning to live life fully again, her experiences brought her to a place to help other midlifers experience an energetic lifestyle by doing the things they love, learning how to communicate better with their loved ones, and enhance their quality of life by making sound decisions. Among her personal testimonies, Glenise completed her undergrad studies in business management and her master's of leadership studies, focusing on biblical leadership. She received her life coaching certification from Dream Releasers Coaching, and now at the age of 59, she's pursuing her doctorate studies in pastoral community counseling. With all of her endeavors, Glenise's schedules allow her to be an equity ambassador under the leadership of professional known Master Coach April Franks Hunt with Coach Speak Serve Will Recharge Any Night. Glenise is a member of the Georgia Coach Federation, co-host and expert co-host for the WCEG online radio, Coaching the Generations. Glenise has passion and purpose to share strategic steps for midlifers transitioning in midlife to have a more energetic life, experience doing the things they love, all while learning how to communicate the right way and in love, and making reasonable decisions to enhance their life. With her high level of energy and her tenacity, she still meets you at the crossroads to travel with you on your journey by helping you to have a vigorous and victorious life by becoming healthy, happy, and whole. Meet my friend, Glenise Harris Wilson. Hey, Glenise, how are you?
Hi, Rhonda. I am wonderful. Thank you so much. What an awesome opportunity. This is just super fantastic what you're doing.
Oh, well, I'm so glad that you had time out of your schedule, because I know that you're busy, and I know every time I call her, she's like, shh. She's all the way in, y'all. Can I just tell y'all? What are you doing, Glenise? Well, I'm what? She's all the way in all the time. So every time I call her, she's busy. So I feel like this is such a treat to myself and to the audience just to have you up here. So I want to dive right on in because that time goes by so quick. So let's dive into about what it means to say, I am necessary, and just share with us, even on your personal journey, how you kept that in the midst of everything you went through, understanding that you was necessary and you had to show up not only for other people, but for yourself.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm excited about it. Well, first of all, it goes back to the beginning, right? And I have to look at being necessary from a spiritual standpoint. From birth, we're always told how, God designed and created you from the very beginning with a purpose. And so I'm necessary because there's a purpose inside of me. And in order for me to fulfill that purpose, it's necessary that I deliver what was deposited on the inside. So going from that, I take that into the second area of me being necessary is because I'm tenacious. I'm tenacious from the aspect of my push and my determination and my will and my desire and all of these things that keep me in the momentum to fulfill that purpose that's inside of me. How do I transpire in all of the things that I've had to overcome or challenge my way through? Um, Growing up as a child, as a little girl, my life was like Father Knows Best for those that's old enough to remember that, right? Leave it to Beaver, where you had mom and dad, you're a witness, right? Where you had mom and dad and your siblings, and we lived the kind of life where on Sundays we went to church, daddy went to work, mama was a homemaker. Um, and then here we are, I get into my middle years and life drastically changed where I went through a divorce, single parenting, taking care of my parents, and you went through the bio, so they've heard all of that. Well, trying to navigate my way through all of that, what I realized was that what was on the inside of me, my strength, my values, all of that was a part of me that made me who I was, who I am. All of that was necessary for me to even get through all of that stuff, for me to be able to navigate my way through all of the changes that I had to navigate my way through. A lot of people would have thrown in the towel. A lot of people have said, no, I'm not going to be able to do this. I can't handle this. I can't handle that. But I'm necessary because I'm an example. That's number three. I'm an example for other people, whether they're younger, right? Because they're coming right along behind me, looking at the path that I've taken, looking at the decisions and choices that I have made and still making. I'm necessary for people even within my own age group, those that's trying to make some choices about changes that they're trying to make in their life, whether it's to leave a job, whether it's to even get married again, whether it is to do different things with their children, whether they got to make some choices in order to accommodate the life of their parents. I'm necessary because who I've been created to be. I'm necessary because it's necessary for me to stand up, stand tall, stand bold, and stand brave. And I live my life based upon that. One of the things, Rhonda, that's so unique with me was that too long in my life, I allowed myself to feel intimidated by people. It wasn't that they could do anything any better than me. It wasn't that they had any more, any less education. It was not even an education was not even in the equation. It was what I was feeling about myself. And I allowed people to intimidate me, or I allowed myself to feel intimidated. Now I've gotten to a point, and I can say this with everything within me, and I can stand up and say it proudly and boldly. I no longer allow people or what they're doing or what they're saying or what they're achieving or what they're not achieving to intimidate what's necessary for me to do and for me to deliver, for me to be able to stand up and say, I am Glenise Harris Wilson and I am necessary.
Listen, Glenise, I'm sitting here thinking, oh my goodness, I need to interject here, but I hate to interrupt you. Listen, That's a true fact, because a lot of time in life, we are intimidated. We're intimidated by other people because their stature is taller than ours, or their voice is bigger than ours, and I have a big mouth. Um, and so I understand that, and I can relate to that, because my voice is so strong that even when I talk, sometimes people think, well, is she yelling? Is she screaming at me? Is she mad? Is she fussing at me? No, I have an extremely strong voice. And then I have a big mouth on top of that. And so, but believe it or not, with all of that power in this voice, when I was little, I had the same power, but I was so afraid of people. And I would open my mouth and they would just look at me like, what? I was so intimidated, but I didn't understand how necessary I was.
Yes.
Okay. And
Absolutely.
just because someone is doing something else different, it don't change anything. You are still necessary. You are still just as powerful. So I am so glad you said that.
Yes, yes. And, if I can say anything that's going to encourage anybody, be who you are. There is something inside of you that's necessary. Everybody that's looking or listening to what you're doing, they need to take an assessment to see what's necessary about me. It might not be the same as what it is for somebody else. And we're all different. We live in a very diverse society. Diversity is huge. We all were created differently. We all were created for something different, but there is something on the inside of all of us that's necessary. So it's all about knowing you, knowing who you are, and appreciating who you are so that you can deliver what's necessary for you to deliver.
Absolutely. Sorry, I was trying to get my dog to stop playing with his noisy toy before I shut the mic off. Listen, oh, that's so good. I know because you and I've had these conversations, and there are people out there that they're so wrapped up in the situations and the circumstances that they're in that they forget that they're a human being. They forget. But I think that if we look at and understand just how necessary we are, not necessarily just for ourselves, because we are necessary for ourselves first, but also for other people, I think some of that stuff that we are wrapped up in, we wouldn't be wrapped up in.
Right. I think
And it wouldn't be that burden. It wouldn't be that.
right.
So
I think also people have a tendency to want to see what's on the outside of them that's necessary. It's necessary for my hair to look a certain way. It's necessary for my makeup to be a certain way. It's necessary for me to weigh a certain amount of weight. It's necessary for me to dress a certain way. We have all of these outside necessary concepts. As opposed to what's necessary on the inside of me. It's necessary for me to be able to give to somebody a positive word. It's necessary for me to inspire. It's necessary for me to motivate. It's necessary for me to be transparent and authentic. These are the necessities that really help people to take people a step further than where they are.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because it is so necessary for me to be who I am, to me to be true to my authentic self.
Right.
And it took me a long time to understand that, because I used to be the girl who did not like my voice. I couldn't stand my voice. And part of it was because of the rejection I felt people when I spoke. And they felt like, oh, well, she's yelling at me, or like I said before. And so I hated my voice because it was so strong. And then it's deep, And so, but I had to understand, when I began to understand that that's who I was, that I started enjoying being who I was, being my authentic self. I embraced my voice. I like the power in my voice now.
Absolutely. It makes the platform. It makes the platform come to life.
So I understand that I have a voice, and this voice is this way because this voice needs to be heard. It needs to be heard, and there's a message, and I was given this voice by God for a reason to deliver in a certain style. And so I am necessary. My voice is necessary. It's a little hoarse today. but my voice is so necessary.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. And it's amazing, just looking at every day that I wake up, I realize it's necessary for me to wake up because of all that I have to do, all that I have to give, all that I have to offer. And when I look back at the times that I didn't see that, I'm so disappointed in myself. I just wish that years past, I had seen how necessary I am today. My goodness, I could have really covered a lot of territory feeling then what I feel now and feeling like I am. I think it's more than I'm necessary. I am so necessary.
Absolutely, absolutely. But listen, let me just say this. I think a lot of us feel that way. Oh my gosh, I wish I
Yeah,
knew back then what
yeah,
I know now.
yeah.
But it doesn't change anything because your journey is your journey for a reason. So
Right.
embrace the journey and
Yeah.
embrace where you are. Don't harbor on the past because listen, you are and that's what happens. You realize, oh my gosh, I'm not just necessary. I am, like you said, I am so necessary.
Necessary.
So yes, good point. Good point. I
Yes,
love it.
yes.
So Glenise, share with us, there are people out there that's saying, okay, this is easy said and done. You ladies are, but we haven't working it out. So I want you to share with people who maybe still feeling a little intimidated, feeling a little self-conscious of their place and not being mindful of the power that they hold within themselves. So share with them just a tip or a word of encouragement to help them understand that, listen, let me just give you a story here real quick. Okay. Before you share that.
Right.
So this past weekend I was traveling and I was going to go support another business friend of mine who had an event. And so we drove down. It was about a 3-hour drive, and had the pleasure to connect with another girlfriend and stay at her home while I was down there. And I was speaking on the panel. So for this event, well, on the way down there on Friday morning, didn't get very far from where I left and where I live at. And I was like, oh, I'm really hungry. I need to stop and eat. So went into a Cracker Barrel. So this is just a small thing to help you understand why you're necessary. Okay. So I went into a Cracker Barrel. My waitress name was Kelsey. Kelsey approached the table like this. Hi, welcome to Cracker Barrel. How can I help you? And I just looked at her. She wasn't mad, but you can tell she was burdened. She was so burdened. So I said to her, Kelsey, are you okay? And she said, yes. And she said, what can I get you to drink? And I said, well, hug. And she just looked at me like, what? And she said, yes, I do. So I stood up. I embraced her. I hugged her. And I said, it's going to be okay. I don't know what you're going through, but I can tell you going through something. But I want to let you know and encourage you that it's going to be okay. And she said, I can't even talk about it because I'm going to fall apart. I said, I get it. I said, but I want you today, just today, make it your business to have a great day today.
Yes.
Kelsey had my table with me, and I was traveling with a business partner.
Right.
There was a table behind me that had a husband. Oh, I'm assuming a husband and wife. It was a man and woman and a little boy. Mm-hmm. The little boy name was Gunnar. I remember that. And then there was a table across from us that was a round table that had 8 big old hunky dunky men, right? Men in it.
Right.
Kelsey took our drink order, walked away, went back in the back. When she came back, this girl transformed just like that.
Wow.
When she walked away, I immediately, right there in Cracker Barrel, began to pray for her. I began to pray peace and joy over her. I began to pray that whatever it was that was burdening her down, that God would intercede for her and give her favor, that it's resolved for her. Right. It's not for her to handle it. God handle it. So I began to pray for her right there in Cracker Barrel. And I didn't pray I was praying out loud. Father God, I want to lift Kelsey up right now. I prayed out loud.
Right,
When
right.
Kelsey came back out of that kitchen, Kelsey was a changed person.
Had a new
She was
attitude.
happy. Her customer service skills was just boom. So we had our breakfast. Kelsey served us. She did a fantastic job. I gave her a huge tip because I wanted to. I
Right,
wrote her
right.
note on my thing when I paid. The
Mhm.
waitress, the lady at the cashier said, "Oh my gosh, she must have been really, really good." And I
Right.
said, "She was," but I wanted to encourage her. The people sitting behind me, to be in all honesty, I didn't even know they were sitting behind me because I don't remember them there when we walked in and got seated.
Mm-hmm.
When they left, because they left, a lady got up and stopped. She put her hand on my shoulder. And this is what she said to me. She said, "You just did a beautiful thing." She
Wow.
said, "Thank you."
Yeah.
She said, "Thank you for doing what you did for that waitress." So see, you understand why I was necessary?
Yes.
It was necessary for me to be hungry at that point. And I don't
Mhm.
eat breakfast that early because we left early. I don't even eat a full breakfast like that in the morning time. I
Right.
juice. I stopped at Cracker Barrel, got pancakes, bacon, eggs, all of it, the apples, all of it. And that's not what I do.
Right.
So it was so necessary for me to understand why I am necessary
Right.
that I stopped at that Cracker Barrel. I not only encouraged Kelsey, but the people behind me, who I didn't even realize was behind me, was encouraged by it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you understand your purpose, you understand that you are necessary,
Yes.
you show up that way.
Right.
Not just for you, but for other people. Now, I can't show up for myself first. I understand that too. But I'm just saying that's a story to let you know just how necessary you are, because you never know. You
Right.
never know.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
So, Glenise, I want you to this 30 minutes just go by so
It
fast.
does. I mean,
I, I want you to share with our audience just some encouraging words. If you have some tips that you want to share and share with them, just about the importance of understanding as they go about the rest of their week, how to walk in that power of understanding that they are
absolutely.
necessary.
I'm going to leave with them three very, very important keys, Rhonda. And I think they're going to be able to take this a long way if they put their mind to it. In order to be necessary, it's three things I want them to do. One, I want them to make peace with the past. You cannot fulfill your purpose. You cannot deliver the necessary part of you until you make peace with the past. Because a lot of times what happens, we become hunted. We become hunted by our past. Number two, I want them to search for wholeness. Because when you're talking about being necessary and there's something for you to deliver, there's a purpose for you to fulfill, it's a holistic process. It's going to take all of you, mind, body, soul, everything. It's just the mental, the physical, the emotional, the spiritual. So I want them to search for wholeness. Number three, if they want to be necessary and stand up and say, "I am necessary," I dare them to dream. I dare you to dream. Dream and dream big. Dreams can be fulfilled. And in order to be necessary, you've got to fulfill those dreams, because what you dream, those are sometimes our visions, and those thoughts have been placed there for a purpose, and it's necessary for those dreams to come to life. So I dare them to dream.
That is good. Wrote down those three things. Okay. That is good. Listen, and I agree with you, because listen, you have to be whole. You
We
have to
do.
take care of yourself.
Yes.
You have to make sure that your emotional intelligence is there, your mental intelligence is there, your spiritual
Yes.
intelligence is there. You understand the physical part. You have to be whole in order for you to show up for yourself and to show up for others. So yes, ma'am. I love that. I love that. I love that. And so I want to invite everyone to hop on over to the Facebook group. It's right there on the screen. I am P.A.T.E.N.T, I am P.A.T.E.N.T.D. hop over to the Facebook group. Miss Glenise Harris Wilson and all the other speakers are going to be over there to engage with you, because listen, this movement is about, listen, our world right now is in a dire situation. And
Yes.
the only people who can change it is us. But until you understand your exclusive right to patent who you are, your exclusive right to be true to yourself, your exclusive right to walk in your power, because it amazes me how many people do not even go out and vote.
Wow.
It's a right. It's a right that was fought for in this country. I don't care what color you are, what nationality you are. It's a right.
Right.
And we have a right to live life in peace, to live life in harmony, to not be attacked by anybody.
Right.
But none of this, all this stuff, until we begin to walk in our power, till we begin to show up authentically, use our voice, get our message out there, be tenacious and determined, okay, and intentional in our journey, okay, become so electrifying that we're bringing in the right type of energy, the positive energy, the uplifting energy, the energy that makes a difference in this. Understand that I am necessary. I am necessary for the future, not only of your grandkids, but my grandkids. Yeah. I am necessary for the future of your children as well as my children. I am necessary for the future of generations to come, whether on, regardless of whose side is on. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. I am necessary for everybody who's going to be governing this country that I live in. So are you. And then be the trendsetter. I call myself the trendsetter because I'm not trying to mimic you. I'm not trying to copy you. You may have some great ideas and I may want to borrow a couple or two, but I promise you, I don't need to be like you. I need you to be used, and I need me to, because everybody's not going to have this big mouth that I have. I promise you. There are some, but it's not everybody. But I need you to, you are necessary. I need you to understand why you in your community, why you need to make a difference in this world that we live in today. You can't go around talking about the problem and not bring a solution. You are the solution. Be the solution.
Yeah.
You are necessary. I need you to be necessary. I need you to walk in the power and the authority that was given to you. Because I promise you, the reason why you're on this earth right now, because you was anointed, appointed, and approved for this time to be on this earth to make a difference. Don't me longer talk and do something. There are kids that don't have mothers, don't have fathers. They need you. You are necessary. Get up and be the role mentor. Get up and shut down all this nonsense. You are necessary. You are necessary. Do you understand? You are necessary. I don't care if you don't have a degree. I don't care if you have 10 college degrees. Passion to get to bring the community together as a unity, as one. We need you. We need you. You are necessary. And I don't even know how I got on that rant, but I did.
Points well taken, points well spoken, points necessary to have been made.
I'm like, I barely have a voice, so
right.
I don't even know why we even went there, but I did. I just felt like in my spirit that it just doesn't make this any sense. We got all this senseless stuff going on in our world, and that's not living life. Okay? Why are you willing to take someone's life and then give your life to being locked up somewhere? That's not what it's about. You're necessary. You're necessary. Glenise, thank you so much for all of your wisdom today, for all of your encouragement, for being here, for showing up to the audience. Please make sure you connect with Glenise in the group. I am P.A.T.E.N.T with a D, I-am-P-A-T-E-N-T-D. I am so happy you joined us today. This is Rhonda A. White, your life and business optimizer, and we will see you online.